Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Conversations of, with Dimi this year, 2023. I'm super excited about the topic today. As you know, the overall topic for the year is prosperity, and this month, we're gonna explore how actually self-discipline impacts prosperity. And I have someone here to talk about it. She's great in that. This is what she's doing mainly. She's working with clients in this direction. She's making transformations with people, amazing transformations, and I'm looking forward to hear what she has to say in this direction. So, Monica, welcome here. I want first to share who you are, what you do.
Okay, happy to
Yeah,
be here. Thanks for having me
yeah,
on. I am a self-discipline coach.
yeah.
A little bit about my background. I went to law school after college, practiced for a number of years, not so happily. So I knew that I wanted to shift and got my master's in leadership development. So I started doing coaching in law firms. At the time, it wasn't called coaching, but a lot of the substance of what I did was coaching. So I did that for a number of years and then transitioned into coaching for tech companies like Google and consulting firms and launched my own business a number of years ago. And initially started working with leaders, new managers, co-founders and founders of startups, big organization, no executive leaders, then transitioned into working with lawyers. And most recently, I have sort of niched down to self-discipline because I was looking at sort of the foundational skill that I was teaching a lot of my clients, no matter who they were, what they were doing professionally, was around self-discipline. So I love the work I do. I think it's incredibly meaningful and it's my jam. I'm happy to talk about it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's why we are here with you because definitely I feel that it's your jam, as you said. So tell me more about self-discipline. What is that? I know that a lot of people talk about self-discipline. From your perspective, what is self-discipline and how self-discipline might help us to become prosperous in whatever we do?
It's a good point. Self-discipline, I guess, could be defined in many different ways. The way I think about it, it's the ability to have impulse control and do what's in your best interest long term, regardless of how you're feeling emotionally or physically in the moment. You take action no matter what the obstacle is, no matter how uncomfortable the thing is, how much self-doubt or fear you may have. And I think I mentioned this. To me, self-discipline is the bridge between your goals and your results. It's what takes you from having a vision and an idea and taking consistent action until you hit your goal. I think the beautiful thing about self-discipline is that it's a learnable skill. A lot of my clients think that you either have it or you don't, but it's absolutely something that you can learn. I have a framework for how I teach it. And there's, of course, a mindset component, but trying to think if I'm answering your question. I think that self-discipline is the biggest differentiator for successful people. It matters way more than talent. It matters way more than background or resources, because in the short term, talent may lead you to success, but sustainable results over the long haul are only driven by self-discipline. Because most of us, when we first start working towards a goal, we have a lot of motivation. We're seeing some results, but inevitably we're going to hit a plateau or an obstacle or a failure. And that's where most of us give up. But if you have self-discipline, you always push through because you're the taking of the action is almost automated. It's become habitual and you're not negotiating with yourself. You're not using willpower. You just do. And that's why I love self-discipline.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I have so many, directions I want to go in this conversation now. One of the things which I was thinking now, before we jump on to the next topic we have in this direction, is what would you say to people who are saying, yeah, but I don't feel it like that. I'm going against myself. I don't want to push myself too hard and all of these things, which a lot of people say when it comes to discipline, because, as you said, in order to be disciplined, you need to really exercise this impulse control. You need to really often, especially in the beginning, go against what people say you feel inside, right? So can you talk a little bit that? Is it clear what I'm asking actually first?
Are
Yeah.
you saying like, I don't want to work hard? And so I don't want to have self-discipline.
Yeah, no, actually, it is that I'm gonna give you my idea how that came in my life. Um, for example, I want to become a great coach. Let's see, this is my example.
Mhm.
I want to go to become a great coach, very prosperous, make a lot of money. But when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like doing stuff, right? I just want to go to the normal routine I had before, and I don't want to go on reaching out to clients, talking to them, trying to find out ways to reach out to them. So there's so many things which are new for me. Some people say, yes, you can be, as you said, disciplined. You go do the things, even though you don't feel like doing it. Other people say, yeah, but I need to follow my feeling. I need to follow my emotion, and that's going against that. Isn't that I'm going against myself?
Right. Okay. Okay. I see that. I
Yeah,
see what you mean.
yeah.
So there's so many ways I can approach this, but basically, initially, when you're developing self-discipline, you have a little bit of resistance to doing the action. When
Hmm.
you have self-discipline, there's no resistance. You just do it. And I'll give you an example with this. But to answer the question that a lot of people say, I just want to feel motivated. I want to get inspired. And my answer to
Hmm.
this is motivation and inspiration start the goal, but self-discipline finishes it. You can't rely on the
Hmm.
occasional times when you feel motivated to have long-term success. It feels beautiful to be motivated and so easy to take action, but if that's the only time you take action, you will never be consistent enough to create those things that you want, the big things in your life that require that commitment and consistency. The beauty about self-discipline, and we can dig into this a little bit deeper, is that initially you are going against what feels good in the moment, what feels pleasurable in the moment. You're putting yourself in discomfort, but
Hmm.
eventually your self-discipline, you don't think about it. It doesn't require effort. So think about the most simple example: brushing your teeth. Assume most of your
Hmm.
clients do this daily. You don't
Hmm.
love it, you don't look forward to it, but it's completely non-relevant, non-material to you. You don't think about it, you don't resist it. It's a habit. It's self that you have self-discipline to brush your teeth twice a day. And so even though it's not something that you wait to feel motivated to do, you just do. You know it's good for you, you've committed to doing it. But because you're so self-disciplined, it doesn't take any motivation and it doesn't take any resistance to overcome the resistance to not do it. It is so habitual and automated. And the beauty of self-discipline is that when you create it around the behavior that you want to take, you get to that same level of automated consistency that doesn't require effort. You're not willing yourself, you're not white knuckling yourself to do the thing. You do it. In the beginning, in the process of developing it, we are working a
Hmm.
lot around the wanting immediate gratification and wanting, to avoid discomfort. And how do you overcome this? What is your why for your goal to get through that
Hmm.
initial resistance stage to build the habit? And there's a lot of tactical pieces that I teach around how do you
Hmm.
do this in the initial stages. But the goal and the beauty of self-discipline is that eventually it just is. You take the action with no resistance.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm asking you that question because a lot of people, and also my clients, when we work with them, everyone wants to be feel motivated all the time. But I love this quote, like motivation helps you to inspire yourself to write the book, but discipline is helping you to write in the book. So that's what actually